So it's been a really fascinating day, so many thoughts to take in, so many insights. But just as a final word, I'd like to welcome one last time Air Marshal Greg Bagwell of the Air and Space Power Association, who has played such a magnificent role in orchestrating this whole event. So please do welcome him.
Thank you, Susanna. 5 minutes ago, we thought we might get the Minister here, but he's still in Parliament answering questions, so you can look him up in the news, you'll find out what he's having to do, but he's deeply sorry he couldn't make it here today. And Mike and I have agreed that I will sum up. I know Mike's going to be speaking plenty over the next few days anyway, but I've got a few thank yous on his behalf as well. But before I do that, because I've got enough time, I'll tell you a little story. 1985, we spent a lot of time here talking about the future, rightly so. 1985, a 22-year-old flying officer, about my height, a little thinner, less facial hair, signed for his jet on nuclear QRA at RAF Bruggen in Germany. 2 nuclear weapons strapped under that aeroplane. I had 2 target packs and 2 targets, and I was at 15-minute readiness. That's how I joined the Air Force. That was my role. The enemy, the Warsaw Pact. We knew who they were. We knew them well, we knew them backwards, we knew the rules, we knew the missions, we knew the tactics, we knew the systems. I can still tell you the difference between a BTR 60, 70, and an 80. Not sure how it ever got close enough to figure it out, but that was how I grew up. And sometimes that's how I see the threat that we face today, because that's how I was brought up as a youngster. But what was key is that we defeated that threat, and it was a threat, because of the strength and the readiness and the unity of the NATO alliance. That has never been more required than now, because now we don't know the rules. We knew exactly then what was going to happen to each side if anybody did something silly, so nobody did anything silly. Right now, we're in a situation where silly things might happen even when they're unintended. So it is going to get harder for you boys and girls out there, undoubtedly, and for all the chiefs I know will be struggling with this on an endless basis. And another challenge you're going to have is you can't stop evolving. You can't. This is not just about fighting the threat right in front of you, even though it's now quite clear and present and quite close. But it's also about evolving. So you're going to have to evolve in contact. So this is a massive challenge. I take my hat off to every single one of you, to all those in uniform in this room, all those listening, and all those out there in uniform in your air forces, because this is a far greater challenge than the one I faced when I was 22. And we'll be there with you. We'll be there to support you. And maybe the nation's going to have to be there with you too, because as we all see in Ukraine, these types of wars are not easily won or easily fought through. So I just leave it there. Strength, readiness, and unity. And I know that General C.Q. Brown talked about its integration by design. You guys get it. You guys get it. More importantly, you do it every day. And training. Know your missions, know your threats, know your tactics. You will prevail. I think the big difference, I'm not going to be too rude about the other services, although this is the Air and Space Power Conference, but you're in the vanguard, okay? Yes, soldiers will hold ground, they'll even defend ground, but you're going to take the fight to the enemy. And let's be brutally honest, this is my fundamental belief. What does Russia fear most? Western air power. No doubt in my mind. So you are going to be right in the vanguard of this challenge over the next few years. And let's be brutal here, it is the next few years. So it's great to have you here at this conference. It couldn't be a better time to reacquaint each other with ourselves, have a good time, have a few drinks, but more importantly, talk about the hard problems that you're going to face. And you've clearly started today and yesterday, and I'm sure that will continue. So I wish you all the very best. We are here, we're on your side, and that's our job to try and keep promoting as well. Because as much as we understand it, there might be a few people outside this building that don't understand it how we do. And our job is to try and make sure we get that message through to them too. You need the resourcing, you need the support, and you need people to understand what it means to fight in those types of conflicts, or at least be ready to fight in them and therefore deter them. So I'll leave that there. Just 2 quick notices. Lunch will finish as soon as I do, or it will start as soon as I finish. I haven't eaten it all, I promise. It's only downstairs in the 2 wings, so no need to go upstairs, down in the 2 wings. I know a lot of you will be busy and need to get out the door anyway, so we're pretty confident we'll be able to manage the numbers. But whatever colour ticket you have, please mingle in those 2 wings for your lunch today. And for anybody who hasn't yet put their REACT bags in the room just to the side here and got themselves ready to get on the buses, please do so. Go and talk to the girls in there. They are fantastic. They will get you in the right place at the right time. And I wish all of those going to REACT a great weekend, albeit one that's quite hot. But I am reassured that the air conditioning is working full on. So a few thank yous, and some of these are from me, but more importantly, many of them are from Mike too, and you can work out what those ones are. To the entire IET team, to Martin and Cecile in particular, who hopefully can hear this on a speaker somewhere in the building, they have been superb. We've worked with them now for a few years. The venue is great. And the way they operate and the way they look after us, more importantly, the way they look after you, is absolutely superb. So on all of your behalves, but certainly on my behalf, thank you to the IET team. I will let you clap each one. How's that? Again. To you, Sir Mike, the Chief, and it's your conference, and that's what makes it so special. It's why people come. Don't come for me, I'm pretty sure of that. But also to Paul Sanger-Davis and all his team, but also the entire Light Blue RAF team. A lot of people in the back rooms there doing a lot of good work, making sure we're all kept in the right place. So thank you, Mike, to you and your team. To all the visiting chiefs and all the delegations from overseas, our heartfelt thanks to you. As I said, you came a long way. Actually, I've just been lifting some of those bags. I'm not surprised they wouldn't get these through. There's some heavy bags in there, and there's one bag from Australia with a broken handle, so whoever's that is, go check it out. It wasn't me. Thank you for coming, and please, please, please enjoy the weekend that's ahead of you, and some of you may even be doing Farnborough, which is... Go for it. If you can manage the 2 weeks, good on you. But thank you for coming, and thank you for coming to this and making this so important, because it is about us as a team and allies. So thank you for that. To Susanna, who I don't think has sat down for 2 days, and she's got a bottle of bubbly somewhere after her award last night, so maybe I'll go and help her drink that. But Susanna, you've been superb. We used to do this a bit amateurishly, and I used to try and muddle through, but you have been brilliant linking this through and keeping it going. And as a finance wizard, you've done a brilliant job. I'm sure you're now probably more versed than me in air and space power, so well done and thank you. To all our speakers, this wouldn't be a good conference without you up here doing your thing and being prepared, to stand up, but more importantly, give us your thoughts. And I've managed to pick up all the hand grenade pins that Justin Bronk threw down here, so I think we've cleaned up. But good on you, Justin, for challenging us, because we need to challenge ourselves before somebody else does. So brilliant. Thank you to all the speakers. The audience. Without you engaging, without the questions, I'm talking to the virtual audience, at least I hope I'm talking to the virtual audience as well. You make the conference, because without you, we'd be talking into thin air. So thank you, the audience. To all our sponsors, partners, and supporters, this conference wouldn't run without you, because you help us keep it going in the way it does. But more importantly, just look at the names on that list. I know we often see them because they're often sponsoring, because they're so closely associated with air and space power. But without them on our side, then we wouldn't be delivering air and space power. So it's not just a thank you for the money you've put into the conference, it's also a thank you for the support you give every day. And I can only see the link between industry and defence becoming stronger because of what we may now need to face, and think about how we manage sustainment, etc. So thank you to the sponsors and partners. And last but not least, this would have come from me, and it's definitely going to come from Mike. A thank you to the Air and Space Power Association team. It's not me that does all the work. I just come up here and fluff. We had the girls behind the desk there. We had Lisa and Debbie looking after them. And of course, we've got Kerry somewhere in this building who's making the magic work on the electronics there. So thank you to all of you. And a final word of thanks, and I hope they can hear me in that room, to Clive and to Catherine. Clive has been involved in organising the Cosford Air Show and the Ret'd Air Show for over roughly 30 years. He's now full-time with us just on this conference, and has been doing that for all the time we've been doing it. Clive has been much a part of the Light Blue in trying to do these events as anybody has, and my personal thanks to Clive and Catherine, husband and wife team, by the way, for their sacrifice, because I know they do put a lot of hard work and effort into it, and have certainly put a lot of hard work and effort to previous air shows. So good on them. 1:15, I can still stick to a target time. So well done, everyone. Thank you for a great conference. I wish all of you safe journeys. For those going to Ret'd, stay cool, get those safari suits out. I'll certainly be getting mine out, and have a great time. And thank you for coming.